We are here!
Hey there, everyone. We're back again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it, Midoriya? Or should I say Deku?
You could say that again, Gohan. Over the course of these past few months, it's hard to believe we were put up against real villains.
Please, as if you think that'll scare us. This is All Might's worthy successors we're talking about here. If we could clean up an entire beach, blast through training mechs, get strangled by titanium scarves on a regular basis from our teacher, take a Nomu head-on, then I'm more than sure we can pull through almost anything.
Let's hope that's enough to get us through a class trial. After all, we did use a placebo without a prescription.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine Bakugo's probably laughing it up right now. That jerk.
Well, Gohan, I don't suppose you picked out a hero name yet.
Oh, I can't wait to show you guys.
We'll just have to wait and see on. Part 8. Gohan's Justified Case.
Another report recently broadcasted on the news. Something about a sighting on a villain attack at the USJ. Paparazzis everywhere were dying to get an earful on the latest scoop on what happened with All Might. Was he okay? What's it like teaching at the school now? And just who were those villains? Perhaps a better question at this time would probably be,
don't suppose you two boys have a good explanation for that incident during the trip?
Pro Hero Midnight had begun to question Gohan and Midoriya about what had happened at the USJ the day after recovering. The Dreamwalker waited patiently with the rest of the staff, looking pretty serious. But that was almost nothing from the death stare Recovery Girl was giving them.
And shame on you two, resulting in such cheap trinkets as these.
The nurse angrily tosses a bag of sensus on a table in front of the two boys.
You ought to be ashamed of yourselves, thinking that you can get anywhere as a hero with your little wonder drug.
Sorry, Miss Recovery Girl, but it wasn't like we had much of a choice.
But you saw! We were able to take down that braid guy, no problem, and save All Might.
Yeah, because he got lucky.
What? Okay. Now, all of this derailing was getting pretty annoying. Especially the fact that they were getting called out by a teacher nonetheless. While Gohan wasn't one to brag about his position, his rank in Class 1A should count as some proof that they were capable enough. Then again, he was born with a huge genetic advantage. But Midoriya made sure that they kept to themselves about that little detail. Luckily enough, Virtine was at least able to vouch for them.
Sure, young Gohan was pretty reckless. I don't know what would have happened to me had he not interfered. Well, let's not forget the damage they've done on the bus.
While there were some valid points made here, things were getting a little too heated. So Principal Nezu thought now would be a good time to step in.
Now, in all fairness, from what I've gathered from Mr. Ozawa and Mr. Satan, it would appear that Katsuki Bakugo was responsible for starting the scuffle. But he's still recovering right now, so we'll see to it that he gets dealt with. Although, I do have to agree with Mr. Ozawa, Gohan. While your power is truly remarkable, you should never try to be too reckless with it.
The Dean had a point, as the result from that misstep with Mina was still clear from not too long ago.
But for going out of your way to save the rest of the class, we are letting you keep a small portion of those beans for the time being.
Snipe took one of the beans out from the pouch, closely examining it.
Reckon if these things are as strong as you say they are, we ought to be careful.
These will require further research, so we better not catch you using more than you need. You boys understand?
Yes, Miss Recovery Girl.
The following day, back at UA High, Mr. Ozawa announces that the UA Sports Festival will soon take place. Out in the hall, All Might still runs around the corridor doing his grand entrance.
Young Midoriya and son Gohan are here!
Jeez, big guy, you almost gave me a heart attack!
You're welcome!
During lunch, All Might reveals he has only 50 minutes exactly before he deflates back into his skinny form.
I almost can't thank you enough for saving my tail back there, kid. If that creepy man-child got any closer, I would have been a goner. Heck, hell of a wallop that blast of yours.
I know, I should have been more careful.
And you, young Midoriya, don't think your class can just rely on Gohan's power to win fights like that. So starting this upcoming festival, I expect you to give it your all. You got that?
Yes, sir!
And son Gohan? Based on what you told me, you said you come from a race of the most brutal and savage space pirates on the face of the planet, right?
Well, technically I'm half Saiyan.
I know that isn't the most ideal look for a hero, but this is a new generation that can come from almost anywhere.
He's got a point. This could be a perfect opportunity to reintroduce people to the idea of Saiyans.
I still don't know.
Well, there's your assignment for the day. Give it some thought, Gohan. You can really make a name for yourself, kid.
Come to think of it, that did sound like a better place to start with than what he had in mind at first. It made him wonder, what if the Saiyans always started out good? You'd probably end up with a Goku that's like a more laid-back Superman, Then again, we don't know what his good personality would be if he hadn't bumped his head. But soon enough, Gohan started to ponder, slowly repeating again,
Saiyan.
Uh-huh, that's the idea.
The Great Saiyan?
Yes, bring it home.
The Great Saiyan Might! Nah, that sounds stupid.
So close! That following day, everyone was just about getting ready for the UA Sports Festival. Mr. Satan figured now would be a great time to go all out on sponsorships and advertising, as he would. While helping unpack the new merchandise in time for the festival, Gohan found himself bumping into a familiar face. Of all places, he'd never expect to find him here.
Why, hey there, Goku! Say, it's like every time I see you now, you just keep getting younger.
Hey, you're that announcer guy from the World Martial Arts Tournament. And that's actually my dad, so we never really got your name.
I'm afraid that's classified information, but folks around here just call me Mr. Alonso.
Yeah, boy! Now it's a party with the Lone Star in his house!
That's a fact, Jack! Hey!
Still keep forgetting that you're from the 80s, but it's all good!
Wow, that's actually a real high praise coming from Present Mic, and that's not an easy feat to do.
So you guys know each other?
That's right, kiddo. When I found Mr. Alonso, tired of the same old boring routine, hosting those martial arts tournaments being a thing of the past, yesterday's trash, I recognized his similar passion for some real action. So, I sent in the message, one thing led to another, and then boom! Your co-hosts for this year's festival have arrived!
I bet you're gonna take first place like your old man in this one too, right?
Well, you know, if I try hard enough, anything's possible.
Oh, please, cut the act, Gohan.
Mr. Piccolo! Fancy seeing you here, too. Mr. Present Mic, sir, would you mind us having a family meeting?
The vocalist shrugged and went back to getting his microphone checked, quietly wondering to himself.
Was that his big green uncle?
Before Gohan could explain his deal with Mr. Satan, Piccolo already picked up everything after reading his mind, as well as the merchandise he was currently wearing.
Have you no shame, working for that blowhard?
I know, Piccolo, but Mr. Satan means well.
And to be fair, Piccolo was the one who indirectly encouraged this idea in the first place.
Yeah, so what's next? You becoming Satan Jr.? Honestly, the guy's a real embarrassment to martial artists and heroes everywhere. Even you know you can't keep this act up, Gohan. People are gonna find out.
Not to mention the guy's way out of his league.
That did sound pretty mean, but they did have a point. It was indeed a miracle Hercule still managed to survive after all they've been through, given up till this point.
Okay, so he may come off as loud and full of himself, but I wouldn't have gotten this far without him. We're already on a lot of thin ice from what happened during that villain attack. I don't know if this city really knows the whole story. But please, promise you won't say anything about Mr. Satan's secret. At least not yet.
That depends. How long do you plan on playing up this whole charade?
I'm not sure. Maybe just enough to figure out this hero stuff. It's almost like I finally have something to call my own.
That is true. While the Dragon Team wasn't led by Goku per se, he did put the title of unofficial leader into Gohan's hands, as the boy usually just followed with whatever his dad did. Now, however, it felt like he had something to call his own. Now all he needed was to be his own man.
Hey, you guys want to see my new hero?
No, thanks, we're good. How about we leave before the others get here?
Wait, you guys are coming to see the festival?
Well, Chi-Chi insisted.
Yeah, I'm sure she did. Alright then, my lips are sealed. Just be sure to give us a good match when you get out there.
Gohan bid his friends farewell. Little did they know their conversation couldn't help but catch the attention of a certain eavesdropper. Hercule stood there, as the guilt settled back in, mixed with a dash of heart realization. There was no way you can compete with the likes of interstellar extraterrestrials. He had no suit of armor, no shining sword, no powers, or utility belt to speak of, so just what was Mr. Satan really to these people?
Gee, really had me beat. Guess sometimes I can be all talk.
While he was known for always talking a big game, he was also known for putting the time and experience in perfecting his craft in martial arts, before the rising of superpowers and magical space monkeys started to take the forefront and take the world by storm. While pondering, he was then approached by 3 UA students.
Hey, Mr. Satan, need some help lifting?
Actually, I was just leaving.
Being uncharacteristically quiet as ever now, the champ just simply took off. He was going to need a minute.
I wonder what that was about. Also, who were those guys Gohan was talking with?
Must be part of his fam.
An uncle of his. Makes kind of a handsome frog.
Sue attempted to bite her tongue.
Oop, was that out loud? Please don't tell anyone. Ribbit.
No promises.
Come on, Mina, that's not cool.
You will never stop my shipping.
Alright, you've gone mad with power.
You need to be stopped.
The world must know.
And so, Kirishima and Tsuyui rushed to thwart the villainous Mina's plot to expose Sue's now embarrassing secret. Which, if you ask me, is completely ridiculous, because we can all agree with certainty that she is rightfully and rightfully mine. You stay away. And with that squared away, everyone continued their training for the festival. But just where was Mr. Satan heading towards? Guess we'll have to find out at part 9. This has been Miracle. We will see you there.